Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a mystery since it is Mystery Monday. Well, now that you clicked on the video, you can obviously tell who it is. It's Bakugo Katsuki. Okay, I'm like I can't with him. Okay, so I made this a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but like a week ago or something. I would also like to apologize to Evie because I may not get her audio out today, and I'm very, very sorry. That there are still... I would like to say that there are 2 slots left for the personal audio. Today Evie will be getting hers, and tomorrow will be another person. So yeah, there are 2 slots open. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, let's get started. Oh shit! You screamed as you looked at the alarm clock that had just woken you up. You got up and threw on your UA uniform. You almost fell down the stairs of the 1A dorms because of how fast you were running. However, your stomach didn't seem to care. Before shoving on your shoes, you stopped in the kitchen and shoved a piece of toast that was miraculously still in the toaster into your mouth. You jogged all the way to UA, running up and down the halls. You thought, even Aizawa-sensei wouldn't be this late. You didn't even think to stop before pushing open the classroom door and running to your seat. With the toast still in your mouth, halfway gone, Aizawa-sensei wiggled in and stood. You were still panting, but relieved that you made it into your seat just in time. You could hear the laughs from the girls of 1A, including Mina, Ochaka, Yayozaru, and Jiro. Suya was kind enough to hold in her laughter, but that didn't change the fact that you wanted to put hair dye in every single one of their shampoo bottles. You glared at them, knowing they were the reason your alarm clock didn't wake you up. Last night, you and your friends had played Truth or Dare, and you chose Dare. It was the worst thing they could have dared you to do. I thought this was supposed to be fun, guys. You whined at Mina. It is fun and easy, Mina responded. Maybe for you, but I don't know how I'd even start the conversation. It's just Bakugo, Mina reassured, even though saying that made you shudder in fear even more. All you have to do is start a conversation and casually bring up his first time. What? How am I just supposed to casually bring that up? You asked. Well, you could start by talking about your first. Mina was cut off by you. Well, if it's that easy, then why don't you just do it? Because you were the one who was dared to do it. It was like this girl had to come back for everything that spilled out of your mouth. You turned to Ochaka, Suyu, Yayozaru, and even Jiro for help, but they just gave you a slick smile and shook their heads. You rolled your eyes in defeat and accepted that there was no way to get out of this. You said, "Can I hold off on the dare?" Mina thought for a bit. I guess, but she looked at you and the rest of your friends. What do you mean by that? You asked, turning your head to face all 5 girls. They shrugged their shoulders, and Mina, once again taking the lead, said, "Guess you'll have to wait and find out." And that's how you ended up rushing into class on a Monday morning. The worst way possible. That event had occurred only last night, so why in the hell was the game already starting? During lunch, you sat with your friends, even though you wanted to drag them all up a hill and push them back down. You sat eating your cafeteria lunch and watched in envy as your friends pulled out their homemade lunches. They looked at you and couldn't help but laugh once more at your pitiful glare. You guys are assholes, you know that? Ochaka spoke between her giggles. Well, if it upsets you that much, why don't you just talk to him already? You looked away, thinking about how the conversation would go, but also out of embarrassment. You had been crushing on Bakugo ever since you were chosen to be his partner for the hero versus villain exam. Though no one in your class knew this except for your friends, it wasn't that you had ratted on yourself. It was because Mina, who was so close to Bakugo, saw the way you interacted with him and how red you got when you came too close. She then decided it was a good idea to spill the beans to the rest of your friend group. And though they were friends with the boys, not one of them dared to spill your secret. You were like a chihuahua, small but dangerous. It wasn't that they were scared of you, but more scared of what you would do. You were the type to wait and plan for the right moment to get your revenge. You always had a well thought out plan and a plan B if things went sideways. So because they knew you liked him, they thought that was why you were putting off talking to him. though that was not it at all. You spoke again to explain yourself. Well, it's not like I can just walk up and say, "Hey, how's the weather today? Oh, by the way, have you ever did it with someone? If you have, please don't spare any details. I'm all ears." One by one, their faces dropped. You were confused until Suyu pointed behind you. You turned, and there stood Bakugo. His face was red, mostly because of what you had just said. You thought, "Oh God, did he hear everything I just said?" As if you didn't even see him, you turned your head back around. Your nervous ass smiled, not leaving your face. You wanted to shrivel up and die into nothing. You did what any normal person would do, and sat in an awkward silence. But then Katsuki spoke. As if the universe hadn't cursed me enough. You thought. You were thankful he didn't change his attitude. You were thankful that he still had some pride left. "Hey, dumbass. I saw you took the bread I left you in the toaster." You turned around in surprise. Oh, you left that for me?" You did your best to show him you were thankful for him not being as awkward as he could have been in that moment. "Yeah, I saw you weren't with Mina and the other girls. So, I knew you must have been running late, you dumbass. So I made sure to make some toast before I left." "Oh, so that's why you were taking so long, Bakugo," Mina squeaked. "Yeah, so what?" "Oh, nothing." She and the other girls at your table snickered. You thanked him for the kind gesture, and he went back to his table. "So, are you going to tell him?" Yayazuru asked. You looked at her, still trying to grasp what Katsuki may or may not have overheard. What do you mean? After that, there's no way." Mina stared you down with a devilish grin. "If you don't, just keep expecting more and more oopsies to happen." Now that they all had a devilish smirk on their face, including Suyu, you sighed and said, "Fine, let's do it Saturday so we can all invite everyone for a movie night and it won't be awkward." Mina eyed you and said, "I'll have to check with my colleagues before I make any rash decisions." You rolled your eyes and smiled as the girls huddled into a corner across from you. The boys of 1A glanced your way, including Bakugo. Sweat dripped down your cheeks as you waved them off. They looked away and continued talking. However, you had already caught the piercing ruby irises. You didn't want to look away, and though it looked like he kept trying to change the subject of something, you didn't care for all the movement. It was like the world stopped whenever you looked at his beautiful eyes, his cold stare, and his spiky blonde hair. Something about him made you vulnerable, and you liked it. "Hey, YN? YN? Hey! Hey, YN!" You jolted your head towards the middle of the table to see who was interrupting your concentration. It was Mina at it once more. "I have decided we will wait till Saturday to get creative with our pranks. We promise," they all said at once, saluting you like you were in the Navy. Okay, thanks guys, I guess. You mutter uncomfortably. Throughout the week, the jokes that they had played on you were small. All in all, it was still annoying though. Tuesday, they hit you with a bucket of water after you walked through the door. Wednesday, your backpack was nowhere to be found. Thursday, you were freaking out because your homework wasn't in your bag and you started planning your funeral. Jiro actually took it out of your bag the night before and placed it in hers, giving it to you only after the rest of your friends had a good laugh about it. Honestly, you weren't surprised when your uniform had been spread across 1A's dorm halls on Friday. You found yourself thinking about why you chose to take it instead of getting them all back, but then you realized, it's because I wait to hunt my prey. You cackle uncontrollably to yourself. Finally, it was Saturday, and your last time being pranked by your vicious female friends. You groaned loudly. "It's the weekend, why can't you guys just give me a break?" you shouted as you chased your friends up and down 1A's dormitory. This time, they had thought it a brilliant idea to take your favorite pair of shoes and dangle them over mud in front of the yard. In Momo's hands, they lay susceptible to anything she was capable of. You knew it was just to spite you, but still, those were your favorite pair of shoes, and you were extremely afraid of what Momo would do to them. The guys woke up to you chasing the other girls around and had to wake Bakugo up just to stop you. He was mad at first, but when he realized the situation, he obligated. He was such a heavy sleeper, you thought as he held you back before jumping on your friends. Kaminari tried to talk to them, especially Momo, but she was not letting up. "Hey, why don't we just put the shoes down and talk about this?" he said calmly. Todoroki found it his job to hold Momo still while someone grabbed the shoes from her hands. Bakugo, still grasping you in his tight arms, picked you up by your waist because you tried to squirm out of him. You didn't even try to fight when he lifted you. You just stood there, like the Mona Lisa painting. Why are you guys fighting in the first place? Midoriya asked the lot of you. Your friend drew smiles, and your face burned red. It's not— Ryan has to finish a dare. Mina cut you off. You glared at her as she high-fived the other girls. Bakugo set you down now that you were in a calmer state and asked, what was the dare? You immediately shot Mina and the rest of your friends a look. They seemed to catch on because not one of them let a peep out. Oh, it's nothing really, you reassured the guys, now that they were looking at you with concern in their eyes. Mina was really ballsy because her next words almost sent you over a cliff. Well, if it's so easy, why don't you just do it already? You almost launched yourself at her and would have succeeded if Bakugo and Kirishima hadn't stopped you. You shook your head and answered her question. You know exactly why. Your voice was low and soft as you were trying to hide the sentence. She smiled. The smile was genuine, and so did the girls around her. Yeah, I do. It was around midnight when your friends called you out of your room because they were about to start playing the movies. What you trying to watch first, guys? Mina asked. Everyone mostly said, let's watch a horror movie. You agreed. Thrillers were your favorite movie, and even though you screamed every time a jump scare came on, you enjoyed it. You took your seat on the middle of the couch next to Mina and your friends. Kirishima sat in front of Mina's legs, so she put them up. You were on your phone scrolling Fanagram when you felt someone's back against your calves. You froze at the feeling and heard Katsuki yell, well, are you going to move? You quickly crossed your legs up on the couch to get comfortable and pulled the blanket that was still drooping behind his back up. Apologizing and covering your face, the guys had gathered around you so they could all see the movie and pointed out how if they were kicked, they would kick the girls off the couch and take it for themselves. Hence the reason you all sat crisscross applesauce. Bakugo had his back against the front couch, his neck inches away from your blanket-covered knees. As you predicted, you yelled a lot during the movie, but no one could really say anything because they got scared as well. Mina and Ochaki even screaming with you on some occasions. The guys couldn't help but tease, which resulted in a full-on pillow and blanket war. You went upstairs to grab ammo with your friends as the guys set up forts. Bakugo refused to lose, saying, come at me with all you got, losers! You and the girls of 1A took refuge at the top floor of the dormitory. What do we do, Kido? So you asked. They all looked at you and Mina since you were like the destruction duo. As if you had both mastered echolocation, you started spitting out your plan, finishing each other's sentences. You were almost finished explaining when you heard the guys coming up the stairs and searching for you. You could hear Minetta's little feet running up and down the halls as he said, come on, girls, I won't hurt ya. You rolled your eyes in disgust, then burst out laughing. Decided to send Ochaka and Tsuyu out since Ochaka was the friendliest and Tsuyu was the smallest. They were to make peace, as you and Mina put it. And when the guys least expect it, we jump out and unload on them. You all thought it was a great idea. Never in a million years did you think it would have landed you tied up in a corner back to back of each other. You had to admit though, it was hilarious, and you wanted every single picture they took of you guys to be sent to your phone so you could remember the fun you had when you were students. They did things like put something up Mina's nose or threatened to cut Momo's hair, though no one dared to approach you, and you were slightly happy about that until— Now, what about you? Questioned a certain ash blonde boy. His red eyes stared you down. Take one more step, you angry Pomeranian, and I'll— You what? He asked, cutting you off, giving you a single moment to respond before continuing. Because right now, you're at my mercy. You felt a tinge of flustered creep onto your skin as he came closer, with every step, not hesitating to retreat. He spoke again. What should I do to you? Everyone watched as he pulled a ghost pepper from his pocket and put it in his mouth. Oh shit, Bak bro, Kirishima said, making the grin on Katsuki's face grow even wider. He bent down next to your frail body. You could feel his warmth and the smell of the spices of his cologne that lingered on his body. You could see the muscles that peeked through his shirt. Could he get any hotter? You thought. He moved his face forward as if to kiss you, but he stopped, letting his breath seep into you as you stared at his lips. He stared at your eyes, and that made him smile. He called your name and went in for a kiss. You pulled away, remembering the ghost pepper he had put in his mouth seconds before. It was a miracle you remembered at all, with how dominated you had become. He backed away, but didn't seem disappointed. The guys finally tied the lot of you and decided it was time to go to bed. However, you could not keep your eyes off Bakugo. You smirked at the thought of his breath hitting your face again, how it would feel against your neck. Mina bumped into you, pulling you out of your thoughts, and whispered, "It's now or never." You looked at your friends sheepishly and nodded. Calling Bakugo aside, you said, "So..." He smiled. "Missed me already?" You glared at him, and he glared back, but with a smile. You pushed his chest against a wall and said, "I have something really important to say." "Well, just come on and say it already." You froze again, like a statue on thin ice, your mouth wide open. "Come on, get it together, Wyatt." Finally, you spoke. When was your, I haven't done it yet," he answered before you could finish, rubbing the back of his neck. You gasped and whispered, "Oh, okay. That's all I needed to know." "It was your dare, huh?" You looked up in shock, as if he did not already know. "I heard you." "Oh, yeah," you sighed, looking away and backing up from the wall you pushed him against. "Guess I should go now, huh?" "What do you mean? I still haven't completed my dare, you know." You glanced up with question, but was soon answered when you felt your body shift. It was now you who was pinned against the wall, and once again you felt like you were melting. You stared up into his ruby-red eyes, but slowly moved your gaze from his eyes to his lips as you noticed he was looking at yours. Moving his head closer, he met your lips with his own, and, with your approval, stuck his tongue in. You were full-on French kissing this boy, and could not bear keeping your feelings a secret any longer. You pulled away and asked, "Satisfied yet?" He glared at you and said, "Do I look like I'm satisfied yet?" "Well, I know I like you, but if you don't like me like that, I can't..." You were cut off by his lips meeting yours, and you took it as a sign of him returning your affection. Too prideful to say anything, huh? Okay guys, that was a long one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want more Bakugo, like this video, comment below. If you want to request somebody, I will be more than happy to do that. Again, if you would like a personal audio, all you have to do is comment your name, the people or person you want, and like this video. Yeah. Bye guys.
And then you won't. You say you love me, then you don't. You keep me running and running around.